It's stunning to me because I asked Todd Blanche this. He was out to dinner the night before, or the day of the merger being approved by their board of trustees at a high-paid...
The Paramount Warner
Brothers. And so it's completely inappropriate. We have ethics laws for lawyers that says you need to avoid the appearance of impropriety. Yet he is dining with the high-level executives from that corporation, all of whom showered Donald Trump with money. And this is the problem we have right now, particularly with this administration. People who donate to the ballroom, they get big contracts. Put my children on your board, you're going to get big contracts. It is a pay-to-play, grifting administration, and it speaks to the larger problem we have in America of billionaires, people, the wealthiest of the wealthy, being able to give unlimited money to politicians and ultimately get what they want from the policy. So it's yet another example of why this merger is wrong and why we need to fix money in our politics.
Well, as I noted to the Attorney General Bonta, kudos, bully for the states being the cavalry here to come in and actually kind of push back, and because you're not going to get that resistance from the federal government, because this would be ordinarily something that the Fed would look at very independently and very suspiciously just by its nature.
Yes.
And probably would have come to the same conclusion that the attorneys general have, that, oh, this doesn't smell right.
We should be looking at this. Tons of foreign investment that nobody's talking about that's making this merger possible, that we're not looking at where those dollars are coming from and the national security implication. Americans right now are sitting back and saying, wait a minute, I'm seeing massive corporate concentration, jobs at stake. My news now, instead of being multiple sources competing, are becoming concentrated. They're going to own CNN. They're going to own CBS.
Right.
They're going to own the very platforms on TikTok that I get a chance to look at. That this is all kind of wrong. Now, you add that to this war we have, where you said the president's saying, trust me. This is a president that has lied to the American people from the beginning when he told them this was going to be a 4 to 5 week endeavor. He promised them that we're going to have a regime change. They did not. It's a more extreme regime. He promised that we're going to have unconditional surrender. The only person that seemed like they were ready to surrender unconditionally was Donald Trump in that first MOU. Now we have a Strait of Hormuz. The average American is paying upwards of $500 more in gas since this war has been going on. But more than that, they've been paying tens of billions of dollars of our taxpayer money, not to improve infrastructure or better access to health care. No, to fight a war that is a failure and has actually put us in a worse position than we were before this war started.
How do Democrats convey that message real quick? I mean, just you brought it up. How do you get people to understand that affordability piece, linking it to the war, linking it to corruption, mergers like this? It's all connected.
Yes.
But I think the American people don't necessarily get that at every turn.
Well, I actually do think they are, because this war is deeply unpopular now on both sides of the aisle. People are connecting this to the pain they're spending at the pump. They're connecting it to the higher prices that they're paying. And they're seeing, I just looked at numbers showing that they believe that corruption is one of the most important issues in these midterm elections. So I think folks are seeing it and seeing what's happening. My worry is that every day that passes, we are seeing the costs go up higher and higher. And when you have 3 American soldiers die, one still a teenager, and yet my body, the Senate, doesn't call a hearing, doesn't have emergency testimony from the people conducting this failed war, has no accountability. We don't even know if the numbers we're getting now and the number of soldiers have been correctly reported, and yet the Senate Republicans continue just to look the other way while this horrible war is going on.
I mean, Jonathan Capehart, our colleague, calls the Senate and Republicans in the House the staffing arm of the White House, because they don't stand up, right? There was this talk for a little while. I think this table and our table on the weekend thought it was BS, but the idea that there'd be a YOLO caucus, right? The folks that had lost their primaries because of Donald Trump's interference would say, you know, I'm gonna steal my spine, and I'm gonna do the right thing, and I'm gonna do my job as a senator, my constitutional job as a senator. We haven't seen that. You're talking about gas prices, $4.07 in New Jersey, as opposed to $3.06 a year ago. Nearly 8 in 10 Americans say that gas prices are straining their budgets. And it'd be great if it was just gas prices, Senator. You know this. If it was just gas prices that were high, but everything is high and has been high for the American people. So as Democrats are going around saying Republicans are bad for your wallet, we're going to be better. How do you make that better January 3rd? You guys get in the House gets the gavel. You guys maybe get a couple more senators. How do you guys actually get things
Well,
done?
first of all, I assume nothing. If you are ticked off that you've done nothing but a president who got elected because he promised to drive down your costs, and you're seeing your costs go up, a president who promised to keep us out of foreign wars, and now we're in a quagmire, another one in the Middle East, please don't assume the Democrats are going to take over. You need to vote them out. Vote them out of the House, vote them out of the Senate, and especially looking at some of these Republicans who are not standing up right now, who we've heard their false promises, oh, we're going to protect Roe v. Wade. They didn't.
A lie.
A lie. Oh, that we're going to not let these tariffs go on. They've gone on his entire administration.
He just added more to Canada.
It just added more, which adds more to your prices because you pay the tariffs, America. Right. You are paying for this president's reckless policies. But yes, let's look to January. Let's look to January after these elections, and Democrats have the House and the Senate, dear God, please. Then we can start doing two things. One is holding him accountable, and two, and I'm going to be yelling this from the rooftops, it cannot just be what we're against, and we need transparency, accountability, hold them accountable, but we also need to begin to put bill after bill after bill that is going to deal with the real pain points, show people we can lead on healthcare, show people we can lead on housing, show people we can lead on driving down your costs, creating jobs that really pay a living wage, that we can drive down child poverty, that we can elevate the quality of life for Americans, and force Donald Trump into the trap of either I support the Democrats' vision for this country, which can't be feckless like we have been in the past, bold vision for this country, or I betray the American people.
Yeah, since Trump has returned to the presidency, he's made at least $2 billion, some count $4 billion, a tremendous amount of money. So you have an individual who is personally profiting from the presidency while gas is up, inflation's higher, people are struggling, with their paychecks they bring home is worth less than it was before. So you add all of that to get up, right? And you string it out and you think, okay, the president's making billions. We're spending billions in Iran for this war that, correct me if I'm wrong, you are not really briefed on. You're not given real intelligence that you used to get. This administration is completely shut off. The press has no idea what's going on because we haven't had a briefing from the Pentagon since early May. We don't see embedded reporters like we used to with this administration, so we're flying blind. So when you roll the National Guard is still here in D.C. I don't want to forget about that till 2029. So I bring all that up because you think about, okay, the priorities when Doge came and cut everything, right? We got hundreds of billions of dollars for the war in Iran. We have millions for the National Guard here in D.C. People are struggling. They are hurting. Yet this administration, when it's anything to help people, there's never any money around. It's always lost. Do you think that cuts through? Do you think people realize that?
I've been traveling campaign for other people. I've been down in Texas, I've been in Louisiana, I've been to Ohio. I'm going all over the country. People understand what's happening to them, and they understand that this is a grifter in chief as a president. They know that this is a guy that has been a bad deal for America. And one thing you haven't included is the prolific debt that is being more so than any president on both. So he's doing what he's done to all his companies before he he's bankrupting America in the same way that he's bankrupted all of these other countries. The spending is still going up. The only person getting rich in Donald Trump economy is people that are already rich or people that are connected and elected, i.e. him or senators that are trading stocks. Why is there so much anger about politicians in the beginning? And I don't want to put it all on them, is that this system now is so rigged, so baked, that if you can do what I've seen some industries do, put hundreds of millions of dollars into campaigns, or you have insider information and people trading stocks, or you're the president of the United States, you can sell your crypto coin or make stock trades.
Well, you do the teleprompter for Donald Trump, allegedly.
Yeah, so this is all wrong.
Prediction market.
Yes, prediction market. We need to reject this as Americans, hold everybody accountable to a new standard, because our politics now are becoming so profoundly corrupted by large concentrations of money. On both sides are responsible, and the question is are we going to end this? And that's why your question was so important about what are you going to do when you get in there. I'm going to be one of the senators. I'm unrolling a massive bill on corruption right away, because the Supreme Court is just as bad. Billionaires who lavish them with gifts have interests in matters before them. We need to completely change the system so that no actor can ever do again what Donald Trump is doing to our country.